I think the defense is kind of getting away with the criticism for the most part, most of the criticism on the offense. Let's take a look at Gregg-Williams and Steve-Wilks last year and this year. In the amount of, here's Wilks versus Gregg-Williams. 6 games, of course, for Wilks. 3 games of 30 points or more. That's not good.
25-7 allowed.
Yeah.
154 rushing yards per game.
Way too much. Now we look at Williams in his season last year, and there you can compare what he has done. 393 yards under Williams and 373 under Wilks. Is it too small a sample size to say anything about
Probably, but listen, when they've been playing without starters on defense this year, it's probably affected the quality of their defense. Without Greedy-Williams, without Denzel-Ward. My concern is about them. They'll be better when they come back, but those guys are not. We think they'll be better when they come back because it'll add more depth at least and more quality to the defense. But the other part is those 2 guys as starting corners aren't going to improve the run defense. That's for sure. That's not the forte of either guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it, but they've just gotten gashed by the last 2 teams they've played.
Is Myles-Garrett doing about what you thought he'd do?
Yeah, and I know some people are saying, well, where are all the tackles? Where are all the tackles for loss and things like that? But he's got 9 sacks already. He's probably going to set the all-time record for sacks and could end up leading the league in sacks still. So I think if you have a defensive end that does that, that's a great year, regardless of whether he's doing some of the smaller things that you would hope that he
You know
can
what
do.
else is still a problem? Missed tackles.
Yeah.
In the open field.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. How do you improve that?
I see that with every defense too. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these things are training camp things, right? That you were.
Yeah. A friend of mine called me Sunday after the Browns game. And he watches a bunch of games. And he's saying that if you're a 2-4 team, they're all the same. In other words, a 2-4 team playing Sunday afternoon is going to look like the Cleveland Browns. You have a couple of teams at the top, New England, I thought Kansas City, but apparently that's not the case either.
Yeah.
Yet it seems if you're a 2-4 team or 3-3 team, you make the same mistakes. You're a bad tackling team. You have penalties at inopportune times. And you have coaches who make silly play calls, and that's what 2-4 teams do, apparently.
Yeah, well, we've seen it. We've seen the low end of all that. We've seen teams that can barely win a game, and mostly that, when we look around the league and you see those teams now, it's because for the same reason they're trying to find their quarterback. Well, we think that they found the quarterback here, don't we? Still, Les?
Right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, I don't want to. I don't want to go looking again for a long time.
I know he hasn't played well, and some people will say he's been among the worst of the NFL starters so far.
The amount of interceptions is a killer.
But I still think this is a guy who's got a good high end yet, and he just, for whatever reason, he's not achieving it right now.